the return after 2 long weeks, 2 long excruciating weeks of no MBW podcast. You didn't hear the opinions, you didn't hear the thoughts, you didn't hear the takes, but guess what, Dante, we're back.
John, and we're better than ever.
We're better than ever. Welcome to the MBW Podcast. We're back. We're healthy. For those watching at home with the visual part on YouTube, you can tell what we just did. Brian, hit us with the theme music.
1, 2. Is this on? Is this on?
All right, play it again. I know it's one. You have to shut up because I gotta listen.
He was like calling him by his first name. Dave, please stop me. You're supposed to be my friend.
It's gotta be on here somewhere. 3, 2, 1, Keith Lee. Damn it!
Thank you for that, Brian. We're back. Dante, how are you?
John, I am feeling great because we are finally back with the Mustache Bros Wrestling Podcast. As you mentioned, we took a tiny little hiatus, not something out of our control, not something that we that could have done anything different
You were
for.
a little sick,
but hey, that happens.
Sick from the you-know-what that for some reason we can't say the word because monetization's weird.
World that we live in, I think you know. But what's important, me and you, we're back, we're healthy, we're feeling good, and most importantly, we're ready to talk some wrestling.
We have a lot,
and there's a lot to talk about.
We have a lot to cover. Now, we don't have, because at this point, a lot of it's going to be old news, so we don't have to go all the way back. Like, I think if we were to jump on it now, we would be talking about, like, Forbidden Door and whatever.
Right.
We don't need, I think we're just going to go through some stuff that happened this past week, and it'll lead us to some stuff that we might have missed.
Sure. Okay.
Actually, the first thing, which I don't know if you have it or not, your Forbidden Door predictions.
I do have them
you
somewhere.
do? Okay.
Yeah.
Because
we didn't go over that.
Yeah, there is current. We do not know who the predictions champion is right now.
Exactly. Yes.
So,
all right.
That's definitely something we have to figure out. Okay. Maybe not the hottest start to the pod, but let me pull up Forbidden.
Hey, we just gotta get business out of the way. We gotta get business.
Handle some. Or we can probably do it off the top of our head. All right. If we're in trouble,
I just don't remember the winners for some of them.
Okay. All right. I got them checked off. So, real quick, we're going to run down, figure out who the predictions champion is.
Okay.
Swerve in Our Glory versus El Desperado, whatever. El Desperado and whoever won.
I'm down already.
That's me. I guess I chose the other people. The FTR tag match. FTR won.
Yep, got that one.
The Eddie Kingston, Chris Jericho, that weird tag team thing. Team Chris Jericho won.
Got that one.
The 4-way to determine the inaugural All-American Championship. I put Miro.
I also put Miro.
Pac won.
Both
Didn't get that. U.S. Championship IWGP, Will Ospreay.
Yep.
Tag championships. I chose the team of the Bucks. Team Sting and Darby Allin won.
Got that one wrong as well.
We got our bonus point because Cesaro debuted.
All right, extra point for us.
Zack Sabre Jr. versus turned out to be Claudio. I chose Claudio.
I chose Zack.
I believe I'm at 6. AEW World Championship. I chose Tony Storm.
I picked Thunder Rosa.
All right.
So there's 5 for me.
I'm at 6, 5. The Jay White, the IGW Championship match, whatever. Who won that? Jay White.
Jay White won.
Jay White won. All right, that's not one for me. 7.
I picked Okada. So
and then
here.
It looks like we got it here. However, let's finish her out. Interim AEW World Championship. John Moxley versus Tanahashi. Moxley won. I got that one wrong.
I picked Moxley. So
I think I'm still up.
So John,
if you don't mind,
for the viewers.
We appreciate you guys. I know Forbidden Door was a little bit ago. We appreciate you, but
being patient with us.
You're still defending predictions champion. Feels good.
Is that back-to-back win, or was I the champ before?
Oh, brother!
I think I may have been the champ before. But regardless, you're the new champ.
Genuinely, have no
congratulations!
Idea. Thank you. So I'm glad we got that out of the way.
And you'll be putting that on the line in a few weeks because we have SummerSlam coming up. So
that's true. We're definitely going to touch on SummerSlam implications, but let's say we dive right in, huh?
Let's dive in. Head first.
Top of the news, kind of how we break it down. We go like the biggest stories or the biggest news first, and we'll get into SmackDown, Raw, AEW.
Yep.
So, last night.
Yes.
Swerve in Our Glory.
I was
Dynamite.
shocked.
Yep.
I was shocked that they won.
AEW Dynamite, or AEW Fighter Fest, I guess, night 1 in the 3-way tag match. It was the Young Bucks versus Ricky Starks and Hobbs versus Jesus, my mind's drawn. It's Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. It's Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland.
Yeah, I mean, it was It was a very back and forth, not back. I mean, three back and forth. I get. I don't know even how you would say that.
Back to forth.
There was a lot of close calls, especially at the end. They made it seem like Keith Lee and Strickland were getting close calls, and I'm like, oh, they're teasing it, and then the Bucks are gonna come in and win the match. I genuinely was shocked because
I thought the Bucks were absolutely good. Why wouldn't the Bucks win it?
Exactly. So like the Bucks just won the belt, and how AEW, besides the whole TNT belt, because that's kind of been swapping hands every so often, but like they're usually good with like giving guys long reigns when they win the belt. So I'm thinking Young Bucks win the tag championships. They're arguably the best tag team in the world.
Fair to say.
So it's like you're gonna get as good of a reign as anyone out of them. So I think I went on record to say like they're going to have like a very long reign.
Yeah.
And just with Keith Lee and Strickland, they kind of planted seeds. They were having like a little bit of a story. Like there was friction between them.
And they still teased it in the match.
Exactly. So that's why I was really shocked.
When he had
the belt.
He had the belt and he turned to him and he was like, no.
Yeah.
And then, which I thought was strange. I get they're like continuing the storyline, but I thought that was strange, especially since they won.
Right.
And then afterward, they're both like celebrating or whatever. Like, why does he still? Oh shit! Sorry, the fucking thing fell. Jesus Christ.
That's all right.
Oh no, I think we're okay. Oh fucking Jesus. Okay,
there it is.
Sorry.
Jesus has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, it's like why I don't get, unless there's like some bigger story that maybe will split them up, or maybe like they'll do a thing when they lose the titles, one will get mad.
Right.
I guess I can see that happening. But like the big celebration feel good moment, and like right before that though, Swerve was gonna like deck him. I don't know. I didn't know if it needed it.
I do think they're still gonna continue the whole like, ooh, someone's going to turn on someone eventually, because like they wouldn't just do that to do that. Like AEW, one thing I give them credit for is long-term storytelling. I feel like we saw Christian Cage and Jungle Boy as an example. They were a team for a few months, for a while, and they kind of was teasing the split and stuff, and they eventually did it.
Like closer to a year.
Yeah, it was a pretty very long-term storytelling. And in this case, I don't think that they're just going to abandon, especially when they did it in the match, especially. So I definitely, how long of a reign they're going to have, I don't know.
Yeah, so how do you feel about it? You like it?
I'm fine with it. Like I think that they work together. They're both great individually.
I'm more like the surprise. First of all, I like the team.
Yes.
But the better part is less of who won it. It's more of just like the surprise and the excitement of like, oh shit, new champion.
Yeah, even if like you asked me to like pick like who, like if someone's gonna win, like besides the Young Bucks, I probably would have went Starks and Hobbs,
I would have,
because they've been in the title picture for a while.
I would have loved to see. I think Ricky Starks
is a star.
He's a star. I tweeted this the other night.
Star.
He is a combination of The Rock mixed with I forget who it was. There was like. It's The Rock and someone. I forget. I
see The Rock. I definitely see The Rock comparisons. I mean, on the mic, he's money.
He's so
the guy's
good.
so charismatic.
And like, remember like the little spot where like he posed with the Bucks and did his little thing. Like just little stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ricky Starks needs to be. Does he have? Like,
he has the FTW belt, but that's not like. He defends it, but like,
I don't even want him to see. I want him to go straight to the world title.
Yeah,
I think he deserves to be in there.
He definitely deserves more than the tag team scene. Like him and Hobbs is great.
I would have liked to see him win the tag title.
You gotta start somewhere, right? But I do think in the future, like in the next few years, like Ricky Starks has to be like near the top of the totem pole for AEW. He's got so much potential. How old? Can you look up how old Ricky Starks is? Welcome back to our series. How old is Ricky Starks? Let's take guesses. I don't think he's that old. I don't know anything like about him. I'm gonna say
I saw his birthday.
I'm gonna say 29.
I'm eliminated. I saw his birthday. He is
32. Okay.
Wait, what?
So he's still young.
I thought he was way younger.
For wrestlers, I mean, that's like a fine age. Wrestlers go until they're like mid 40s at this point. So he still has a good 10 years in him, a good 10-year run.
I mean, Eddie Kingston's 40 and he's still,
guys. John Cena's 45 and look, I mean, he's not active, but like he could if he wanted to. Anyways, Ricky Starks. Every time I see him on TV, I'm drawn to him.
I become more and more of a fan. I didn't like him the first time.
He's
I saw him.
Because he's like he's that heelish kid. Like he's a heel. Like he's supposed to be like a little like like squirmy little weasel kind of thing, but like he attracts the attention of the crowd.
Yeah.
His move set, just like his movements, like his little pose thing and everything. And on the mic, he's money.
I think
there's
that's
not many people better than him on the mic.
And I think that's the biggest comparison to The Rock is because like throughout a lot of The Rock's career is he was a heel,
right?
But
yeah.
it was the heel that like you laugh at, like, okay, that's a good one laugh. He's a dick, but he's funny and he's clever.
Right.
And I think like Ricky Stark's obviously playing a heel, but it's like you're still watching him in amazement because of like, oh, he's so charismatic and like you said, he's good on the mic. And,
1,000%. 1,000%.
And also, I mean, Swerve Strickland in the same sense for that. Every time I watch Swerve Strickland, I become more and more of a fan.
Yeah.
I think he's so talented. His like backflip he did off of like Keith Lee's chest.
Yeah, have you ever seen, so this was years ago. This was like 10, 15 years ago. Seth Rollins, when he was wrestling in gymnasiums and stuff like that, he did that spot
I remember
on a
seeing
fan.
that.
And it was like everyone freaked out. And now they do that like every week, which is very cool. Isn't it kind of crazy how I literally just thought about
Go
this.
ahead.
So the AEW World Champ, Jon Moxley.
Okay.
The Atlantic Champ, All Atlantic is it called? Pac. Tag Team Champs, Keith Lee, Swerve Strickland. All ex-WWE guys.
And
I'm not saying they're doing it on purpose. I'm just saying, like, isn't it kind of funny to see how those guys in WWE weren't thriving?
Yeah.
And now they're in somewhere else in a position where they can succeed, and look how great they look.
Exactly. So that's what I was gonna say. Not that you're saying this, but the biggest argument with that is like, Tony Khan just uses all ex-WWE guys, and that's why they get the whatever. They're guys with jobs, and this is the company they're signed to, and it's like, why wouldn't you sign these free agents?
100%.
Like that's just it's the same thing as like, I don't know, if Mike Trout was a free agent tomorrow. Look at me with a baseball reference. If Mike Trout was a free little inside baseball. If Mike Trout was a free agent, or LeBron was a free agent, or any top athlete, another team is going to pick him up.
Yeah, 1,000%.
You're not going to say, let's say the Celtics pick up LeBron James, he's a free agent tomorrow. You don't say to the Celtics like, well, they're only good and people are only going because they have a former Laker on their team.
Right.
It's like, no, he's a guy. A free agent that is just signed with another job, and maybe he's doing better on the Celtics now. Or maybe he's doing,
Yeah, I mean, listen. The thing is with this whole guy, like obviously MJF was having the promos, like signing ex-WWE guys. The thing is like you're trying to build up.
I love it for a story.
I love it for the story. For the story, it makes sense.
I love it.
But like in all honesty, it's like, when you have these big name free agents available and you're trying to build up this fairly new wrestling company that's been around for 3-4 years only, you gotta get names people know, and people know these guys.
That was the reason of signing Chris Jericho and make him the face with the first year of the company.
Are you faulting AEW for signing these guys? I think you should look more of the people that cut them in the first place. Yeah. WWE, I mean, not a shock to anyone because me and you have gone on record to say this.
Sure.
WWE compared to AEW, like it seems like they actually know what they're doing. A lot of the times WWE just doesn't. Like they don't appreciate what they have.
Look what they're doing with someone like a Keith Lee or a Tony Storm.
Right.
Tony Storm's in the title
too.
picture.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Athena. And I saw someone like, this was a few weeks ago, criticizing Keith Lee's position in AEW, saying like, he was a big signing and they're not really doing anything with him. Like, look where he is. It's like, it takes time. He's the world champ now.
You can't just put a title on someone a few weeks into being in the company.
Let them have matches. Let them build up.
Right.
He's been on TV.
CM Punk, it took him 8 months to win the World Championship, and you knew he wasn't going to go for tag belts. You know he wasn't going to go for mid-carders. You know he was going to go for the big one, and it took him almost a year to do it. It's like, I don't know. It's like, it's more, when you talk about something like that, I think the discussion needs to be more based around what WWE did wrong than AEW picking up the scraps. Because it's like Jon Moxley, example number one. He genuinely is one of the best wrestlers in the world right now, and he always has been. He just never got. They put him in goofy, and he made it work. To his credit, like whatever they gave him, he made it work. But it's like they made him like that goofy face when it's like he's actually a badass heel that, in my opinion, is like the modern day Stone Cold. If they ran it like that, he'd still be in WWE and he'd be killing it. But they didn't do that, and he left. He went to a better opportunity, and look at him now.
And I don't understand.
How can you fault them for that?
Exactly. I don't understand not taking the side of these performers and choosing to be like, they left WWE, they left the big leagues. Like, why wouldn't you? be in support of your favorite performers
Yeah.
now getting an opportunity to really perform and showcase and whatever.
And that's what's going to happen to Sasha Banks when she eventually goes all elite. People are going to be like, oh, she left WWE, this and that, just to go to AEW. But it's like WWE, like, they failed her.
Yeah.
Like, they did all this shit behind the scenes and stuff that we probably won't find out about for a while. But it's like, why are you getting upset about a performer for doing something that's best for them? They're human beings at the end of the day. You know, they got to make money. They want to be on TV, and it's like,
and a lot of them are taking, I would assume, probably taking a pay cut going to AEW.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. As backed up as AEW is, and Tony Khan does have a lot of money. It's not. Vince
They don't have as
McMahon
much
has
as
a lot of money.
They don't have as much.
And they have the investors and stuff. WWE has been around for long enough where it's like they have the TV deals, they have the Peacock deals, this and that. It's like WWE is always going to be able to give you more money, but it's like at the end of the day, and this goes to anyone with any day job, sometimes you choose happiness over getting paid an extra, so much. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's kind of a stupid argument when people talk about that.
Well, we have a lot more to cover. Let's go back to we'll circle back to AEW, but again, just kind of the big topics up front.
Okay.
Let's start on SmackDown here.
SmackDown.
Yeah, it's at this point it's almost a week behind, so we're just gonna kind of run through it. Gunther been killing it.
Big fan. Not a fan of his name. I've gotten used to it. I like Walter more, but he.
Gunther sounds aggressive. I'm fine with it.
He makes it work.
Exactly.
It makes it work, and I respect him. I like him because I don't know, like he's a lot skinnier and in shape now compared to when he was Walter in like NXT UK. He really. I don't know the complete backstory, so don't quote me on all this. But I guess like the thing was like you want to get more TV time, want to get called up, it's like you need to get in better shape. He didn't complain or anything. He fucking lost all that weight. And look at him, he's succeeding. He's killing it.
So Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Kaiser, I believe his name.
Yeah,
yep, his guy. So we're getting Gunther versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the IC title.
And I like this because this is wrestling. Like Gunther's a wrestler, Shinsuke is a wrestler. I think that match is gonna kill. Whenever they do it, hopefully SummerSlam. That would be a nice place to do it.
I think it is. I think that's the.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much announced. If they allow them to. They give them the time. And also, Nakamura's been not criticized, but like, he is kind of like, after his NXT run, that did kind of seem like, okay, now he's just kind of chilling. He's done Nakamura's greatest matches are behind him.
Right, I agree. Yeah.
I hope that's not the case. Nakamura's one of my favorites. Currently.
Yeah. Very enjoyable to watch.
I hope I would love, and he's been the IC champion one or two times already. Again, lackluster runs.
Yeah.
If we see a banger, like an NXT black and gold level banger out of Nakamura and Gunther, I'm sold.
Just give them 10-15 minutes and let them go crazy. Obviously, I think Gunther would come out on top because like you're trying to build a new star, but I think there's no one better to put someone over than Shinsuke. And you're right. I mean, it's like he had his run. I mean, think about it. I mean, he's I don't know how old Shinsuke is, but he had a very long run in Japan and stuff like that. And I think him coming over to the States and just being here is just kind of him just like taking a back.
42.
He's 42. Yeah. So, I mean, he's...
Yeah, I've heard. I don't think it's a secret that he did the NXT run, had a great run, and then he got called up to the main roster, and he's kind of like...
He's been chilling.
He's getting a paycheck. He's out surfing.
That's the thing. It's like there are guys where it's like, oh, I'm not getting used a lot. Like, I want to go somewhere else. Like, if he wanted to go to AEW, I'm sure he would be a killer there, but... He's getting paid a good amount. I've read an article. He loves surfing. So
that's what I'm saying. He's comfortable. He can surf.
It's like
he's kind of just riding out the last of his career in a comfortable position.
And honestly,
you can't blame him. No, you really can't blame him.
If you're getting a check for a few million,
it sucks that we may never see a 5-star Shinsuke match again. But I don't blame him.
And it sucks that we've never seen him as a world champ, at least on the main roster.
Yeah.
Because I think if he didn't win it when he won the Royal Rumble, once he lost to AJ, I was like, all right, it's never gonna happen now. But yeah, who knows? Never say never.
A little bit of old news we didn't really touch upon. Did you see that clip of Natalya at the house show? No selling Liv. See that?
I guess
that was weird.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not a fan of Natalya.
I am an on-record Natalya hater. I'm the
like
biggest
her.
Natalya hater.
She's
I don't think she's talented. I think she's unprofessional. I think I think she's bad on the mic.
I don't mute my TV when she starts
everything
talking.
they say about her. That's like, oh, well, she's a veteran. She does this. I think she's bad at everything.
Yeah, I've never I don't know. She has this label of being like the vet that like can help like put someone over or build someone up.
I've never seen. I've never seen any match that Natalya's been involved in and been like, that was good.
I don't think that. I just don't see that what other people see or say.
She's not nearly close to any of the 4 horsewomen in terms of talent.
Like, sure, she's been around for a while and she has the Hart family in her blood. Like, that's where she's
only gonna get you so far.
But like, I don't know. I'm with you. I'm not convinced of her being being a top
If WWE
person.
let her go, AEW's not signing her.
Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe for name value, maybe to have another person there, but I don't think she would do well. And
then there was like a deleted tweet where when she's pointing and it looks like she's reprimanding her. I guess she tweeted and then deleted the tweet that like, oh no, I was saying thank you. So you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
I don't know. Weird.
Just be professional.
Weird thing. Weirdly, especially with it doesn't seem like Liv did anything wrong. I don't know what that was about.
I have no idea.
Speaking of Liv Morgan, though, we have a new SmackDown Women's Champion. Again, a little bit of old news. We haven't been able to talk about it. Oh my God, what a feel-good moment.
It's about time.
It's about time.
I wanted her to win Money in the Bank last year. Yeah. And it seemed like they were kind of building up for her to be it because the fans were on her side. They had the whole build up to her never winning, blah, blah, blah. And then Nikki ASH won it because that's WWE for you. Very happy they pulled the trigger this year. It had to have happened eventually. I was getting nervous that they were just never going to give her the chance.
The one criticism is I don't think she's there in the ring. She doesn't hold a candle to the top performance.
No, I do think she still has a lot to improve on in the ring. But as far as likability and the fans like her, and she's believable. She has that underdog vibe to her. Yeah. It's like, even though she's the champ, it's like, she'll probably have a rematch with Ronda at SummerSlam. She'll be the underdog going into that match.
She is facing Ronda.
So she'll be the underdog in that match. But you get behind an underdog. It's like I would be upset if she loses to Ronda.
That's what I was saying.
I don't know if I like that this is going to be her first defense because it makes me feel like Ronda's going to win. Right? Because one-on-one, I mean, realistic. If we're being honest, Ronda Rousey versus Liv Morgan, Ronda's baddest woman on the planet. Ronda should kill her. Right?
Yeah, because the only way Liv won was after Ronda got beat up.
And I do want to say, too, very happy with the cash-in. Thought it was cool. Kind of a little underwhelming. It was just like a roll-up type of thing. Like, it didn't look legit, kind of.
Yeah, I did like that Ronda got her in, the submission hold. And then,
I thought you were going to say, I don't like how they shook hands and she gave her the belt after. I think I am a big, here's the thing with Ronda Rousey.
See, I wouldn't have mind. Sorry, I'm sure you have a lot of point, but I didn't mind it at the time because I thought that meant that Ronda was taking time off.
Sure, if that's what it meant, sure, I'm fine with that. But she didn't.
Exactly.
I have said this since she even came to WWE in the first place. Obviously, when she came in, she had the tag team Kurt Angle, blah blah. She's going to be a fan favorite. She is a heel. She is a natural heel. That's what her character should be. She should be a bad guy.
A destroyer.
That's what the whole storyline with Becky, Charlotte leading up to the match, she was the heel. It was awesome because she's just a badass former MMA wrestler that could kill you, right? And now it's like she's a good person. And it's like, I don't think fans are really sold on her. Not because of how she is in the ring, but just her character work, period.
Yeah, she's not good
always
on the mic.
Smiling, waving, and stuff. Like, you're Ronda fucking Rousey. You're one of the best
role
UFC
should be
fighters of all time. You're a killer.
Yeah.
And not to her fault. I think that's the WWE's fault because they don't know how to handle talent, like always. But I didn't like how... And I guess this is just because of me personally, how I think about it, but I didn't like how she shook her hand, gave her the belt, because I don't like her as a good person. If she did that, maybe she turns on her, that would be something else, but I don't know. I wasn't a fan of how the whole exchange thing. Regardless, happy Liv Morgan won.
Yeah, I'm curious to see in the next SmackDown. I think there's maybe one more SmackDown before. Oh, yeah, tomorrow.
Or two more. So tomorrow, the next
There's
week.
one or two more. Okay, word.
Right, yeah.
And then, so I'm curious how, hopefully, Ronda turns a little more heel and...
Right.
We
got 3 more SmackDowns tomorrow. Then 2
really?
weeks after.
Okay,
yeah, because it's the 30th of SummerSlam.
I hope I really hope that they develop this. I think this can be a really good match. Morgan's solid in the ring. I think Rousey's going to really carry the star power factor.
I will say,
don't know.
Charlotte's been gone for a while. Maybe she makes a little return
Charlotte's
and gets
been
involved
gone.
somehow. Who knows? Who knows?
It's interesting.
If Liv wins, I don't think it's going to be clean. I think it'll be an interference of something like that. Because I just don't see Liv Morgan.
Yeah, because I really
pinning
thought
Ronda Rousey.
I thought Ronda was going away.
Yeah,
so it's like now that
exactly.
she's not.
So I don't know. I hope they don't put. I think WWE is kind of putting themselves in a corner here.
Yeah, because
if Liv loses, people are going to be pissed.
if Liv loses, then all of a sudden you don't have this really nice, like, feel good, almost like, you know, Big E or Kofi moment.
You got a
to
cheap
compare
pop
it to.
for the night, and that was it.
Yeah, and then it's back on Ronda. I mean, everyone's gunning for Liv. It would be if Liv beats Ronda and just because it's a straight up match, the place is gonna erupt.
I would be shocked.
I would love it.
I would love it
I
too,
would
but I
love it.
just don't see it happening. I'd be shocked if it happened. But hey, sometimes WWE surprises us, so
I don't know.
So who knows?
All right, Monday Night Raw. Again, I guess quick little plug while we're here. There's a lot of stuff that we're skipping over. We're kind of just hitting.
I see that one thing you skipped over, and I'm very happy you are because I don't want to talk about that.
Well, we might talk about just
On
that
the
in the MBW after party. Again, patreon.com/Lumberlend. For only $5 a month, you get an additional podcast episode a week. That's it.
That's
$5 a month, and you get this main feed one, and then you get like an additional whole other episode. It's like 30 minutes.
And not even to mention this, but we also have some other content from the Lumberlend, Lumberlend cast here. We got another podcast, I don't even know if we have a name for it, but we call it the Lumberlend Patreon podcast. And also exclusive behind the scenes content from everyone here in the office. So for $5 a month, you get all that.
No, you don't get all that for $5. It's different tiers.
Take back anything that I just said.
$5 can confirm you at least get the MBW after party.
What's $5? Come on.
But so we're gonna everything we miss or not we're gonna go over a bunch of Patreon questions from you guys and answer a bunch of those. So just a quick plug as we're transitioning. But Monday Night Raw. First thing, again, it's a little bit of old news, but we're gonna skip this first one for now. Logan Paul has signed with WWE. We have not talked about this.
Oh, we haven't.
Also, so he signed, like 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yep.
And then now he came on, again, hasn't appeared on Raw.
Yep.
He's going to appear on Raw, I believe, this upcoming Raw. Called out The Miz. He said, let me make this clear. I'm not signing this contract team with The Miz. I want to face The Miz, whatever.
Yep.
So, a couple talking points here.
Okay.
One, I just want to discuss the signing.
Okay.
2, I guess he's going to be face, at least for this match.
That's what it seems like for here. He's a natural heel, of course, but I think in this case, Miz turned on him. So they're just kind of rolling with the story here. Like, Miz turned on him. He's supposed to be the bad guy. But Logan Paul, I mean, talk to me about the signing. I think you're not talk for you. It seems like you may be a little more excited than I am. I am totally fine with it. I mean, I was a big fan of his performance at WrestleMania. I thought it was
YouTube videos.
What?
You're a big fan of his YouTube videos?
Huge fan. Oh my God, massive. No, but like his performance at WrestleMania was very good, genuinely.
I have to admit, it was impressive.
For a guy that's never stepped foot in a ring and you're making your debut at WrestleMania, like that, that's a lot of pressure. It is a lot of pressure. And
Bad Bunny did it better.
Bad Bunny, I think Bad Bunny is the best celebrity wrestler that we've seen in recent history, at least. But I think signing Logan Paul, I mean, it's a smart, from a business standpoint, it's smart.
WWE move for sure.
1,000%. I mean, AEW wouldn't sign Logan Paul, but it's good for Logan because he gets more exposure. A whole nother audience is going to.
I mean, he's worn his merch every time he appears on.
Even when he signed the contract, he had his drink, he had his thing right there with him. So it's perfect for him marketing. And WWE, again, they get a whole new audience as well. All the Logan Paul fans, and whether you like the guy or not, he's got a lot of audience, a lot of fans. He's a draw. So I think from a business perspective, it makes sense.
And also kids too. Like you often forget this show we talk about is also heavily marketed to kids. Right. So like Logan Paul too. Kids are gonna. I don't know the zeitgeist of how kids feel about. Thank you about how kids feel about the Paul brothers these days. But get them out there in a Minecraft t-shirt, and I'm sure they'll go crazy.
Yeah.
You know what they'll do? Have Logan Paul get out there and be like, here's what it is.
Okay.
The Royal Rumble's a little bit ways away.
Okay, yeah, a few months.
But let's just say the Royal Rumble's a little bit closer, right?
Paint me the picture.
And Logan Paul is coming out, and he's going to promo for the Royal Rumble, and he says, I'm gonna toss everyone out, and they're gonna be eliminated just like Fall Guys or something. And he makes a Fall Guys reference.
Ooh, yeah.
And then he goes,
I'd like that. I'd start cheering. Even if I'm the only one in the audience, I'll be going crazy. Fall Guys. I think it'll work out because I do think he's shown he has some talent in the ring, and if he keeps working on it, which it seems like he's been committing to it. We've seen videos of him training. I think this is a good signing for both sides.
I am definitely not a Logan Paul or Jake Paul guy. I'm definitely not happy about it. I get it. I'm with you and I understand everything you said, and I agree with everything you said. I think,
thank you.
I'm definitely willing to admit he looked great at Mania. Mm-hmm. He had a frog splash. His frog splash looked great. Whatever. I don't want to give him the credit, but credit where credit is due. Mm-hmm. Even his look, I think, is pretty cool with like the big yellow jacket and shit.
He looks like an asshole.
He looks good.
He's a natural heel, and I think that's the thing. And not to interrupt you, but he just attracts heat. He attracts He attracts a reaction,
which is why I hope, because the audience is gonna cheer the Miz.
Right. Yeah. So I think he's definitely gonna get more boos and cheers. 1,000% Logan Paul, not Miz. But I just think he just has that natural. Like, you see him and you just have to react to what he does.
They absolutely need to. Well, I mean, I could see them going the Ronda route, and they're like, oh no, he's a big celebrity. He's gonna be a good guy.
And that would be stupid if they did that.
I could see
good.
Them,
No, absolutely.
Right now,
100%.
Right now. Again, you said they're just following the story for sure, but right now that's the direction they're going.
He's a face.
He's a good guy.
Now. Yeah, which is
wearing
ridiculous.
What is it? A $10 million Charizard card around his neck,
something like that. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm optimistic. I'm not gonna just sit here and be like, I'm not gonna watch him. But
yeah.
I just from.
We've seen what they do with these guys in the past, these celebrities.
Yeah.
So it's to be seen how they handle him.
Another point, this is less of like a thing that happened on Raw, but you mentioned Sasha earlier. Mm-hmm. I saw a little note of this, some news site, I don't know, so I think it's worth talking about. Women's tag titles, it's been months since Sasha and Naomi, the whole situation.
When did they walk out?
It was months ago, I know that.
Because usually, I mean, obviously we haven't heard that they were officially released or anything, but like, whenever they did, I'm assuming they did get released and they just haven't said anything.
Yeah.
There's a 90-day clause, so like those two can pop up somewhere.
Wait,
soon.
didn't they do who are the current tag champions? Because didn't they do remember that night they were like, oh, Sasha and Naomi walked
Women's
out.
Tag champs?
So we have to.
Oh, brother, those belts haven't been seen since they left.
Yeah.
There's no tag champs.
But didn't they do a thing?
They said they were going to do a tournament. They never did.
Okay,
they literally haven't even mentioned the belts once.
Okay, so that's the point I'm getting at is since they left, they haven't mentioned them.
Nope.
They haven't even again.
They did mention it,
except for the mentioning. We're doing a tournament. They never did it. Yep. I could have sworn. I guess you're right. No. I don't.
Nope.
So which is more of an opinion thing, I guess. What should they do? Should they? The article I read, the news thing said there currently are no plans. Kind of looks like they're just like, well, that didn't work. They're kind of forgetting about it. In your opinion, what do you think they should do with the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, if anything at all?
Well, WWE doomed themselves after. So Bayley and Sasha won it initially. Mm-hmm. They won it in the Elimination Chamber. Big moment. Debut of the belts. Those two have been, the workhorses for women's wrestlers, just kind of like the staples. Two women that really push for the women's revolution, not just for personal accolades, but for the best of the women's division. Like, they want just to see women wrestlers succeed. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why people like Sasha, Bayley are so respected, because not only do they want to, obviously they want to do well for themselves, but they want to put others over as well. They lose the belts after a month to the Iconics at WrestleMania. And after that, actually, Sasha Banks went on a little hiatus after that because of how upset she was, how poorly they were treating the belts. Because then after that, it's like the Iconics didn't do anything. Like, they just held on to the belts.
I forgot the Kabuki Warriors had them too.
Like, the belts, bro, are so irrelevant. Like, at this point, I think that they should just drop it because, in my opinion, no one's cared about these belts since the Iconics won, which
Natalya
was 2019.
and Tamina had them.
They had them like I don't know if they show like the defenses
days.
or anything like that. They probably only defended it 5. You can count one hand the amount of times that they defended the belt. Like it's always been an afterthought. And they also like look at the weird combos. Like Alexa, Nikki Cross, they had their thing. Alexa again, hey Sasha,
Asuka and Charlotte,
Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Asuka, Charlotte, Baszler again, Natalya and Tamina, Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley, Carmella and Queen Zelina, Sasha and like those are all just randomly put together people.
Yeah,
they're not.
They started off hot with Boston Hug Connection
and Iconics is fine, but if they should have waited. They should have. They had to. Here's the thing: when you introduce belts like this, you have to put it on. Wrestlers that can make it feel important, that make it feel valuable.
Sure.
They only had 49 days with the belt. Give them a long run, and then you lose the Iconics. Like, okay, people care about the belts now. You can pass them on. No one cared about the belts at that point still. So it's like you just took them off of 2 of your most legit people and gave it to two.
I don't know.
Two wrestlers that it was more their character work that people I think were focused on and not in-ring skill, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they could have put them. The Iconics were over.
They were over. I just
over.
think they jumped the gun. That's all.
I agree. Okay,
I
can agree with that.
That was it. But yeah, so it's like since then, I just think the belt's been an afterthought. WWE just more so the focus on the division and not the wrestlers. Like the WWE just didn't care about the women's tag team division. They like you see random people being put together.
Yeah, I don't like. There's no, as long as like a 3-hour Raw and then a 2-hour SmackDown, like as much time as they do have, it really doesn't seem like they have any time for women's titles. And if they're not going to do them right, I think we're in the same boat. Just don't force it. Don't bring it back.
Right.
Focus on getting the women's titles in a good spot. And you know, right now you're killing it with Liv. Like work on that, and I don't know. I mean, you can say the same thing for, like the U.S. title has been swept under the rug for. Ever.
I'd argue that and the IC belt.
The IC belt,
at least
too,
now it's getting a little more exposure, but in the recent years, yes.
So it's like if you can't figure out a lot of your current belts, or even like you have the men's tag titles unified. So it's like if you can't figure out a lot of your belts, like I just don't think they thought about this long term. I think they introduced the belts, just kind of think, people are gonna love this, and
then that was they had no long term plan. Unfortunate.
Speaking of tag team, though, can we talk about how fucking good this Usos and Street Profits feud is? Oh my God.
This is very reminiscent of when the Usos and New Day had that feud years ago, and they were just going back. Listen, these guys could wrestle every pay-per-view for the rest of the year, and I'd be totally fine with it. Bangers.
It wasn't this past Raw, not with the which we'll talk about, because this past Raw they did the 3-on-3. For some reason, Omos and R-Truth were in it, which I have my gripe about. But the week before, they just had a straight up Usos versus Street Profits. Or was it on the pay-per-view?
Money in the Bank.
It was at Money in the Bank, yeah.
They've had a few individual matches.
The Money in the Bank, like, oh my God, are these 4 of the most talented? And I'm including Dawkins in there too. Dawkins sometimes gets overlooked. I'm a big I think we're both huge Montez Ford's guys. We're both Montez Ford future world champion guys, 100%. Oh my God, this has been good. R-Truth and Omos being in it was fucking stupid.
I like R-Truth, but like
I like R-Truth too, but it didn't need it.
Yeah, that was just extra. I think they're just something to make it fresh, something new, I guess. But
so at SummerSlam, it's going to be Usos versus Street Profits with a special guest referee. And
they haven't announced it, right? Did they?
They haven't announced it, but the rumor
That's why R-Truth was in it, because he was like, either special referee.
It's probably Omos got the pin that night. It's probably going to be Omos as the special guest referee.
That's stupid.
It's so fucking stupid.
Why is he involved in that?
This is one of the best in terms of, maybe not in terms of story, but in terms of in-ring match quality, the best feud that WWE has had in a long time. Yeah. I mean, Cody and Seth, let's say tag.
Sure. In the tag team division, they hadn't had something like this maybe since Usos New Day.
Probably since Usos New Day, 100%. And they stole, that was probably, I mean, again, we didn't have a podcast for it. That was my match of the week at the Money in the Bank. Like, match. I thought that was
definitely
incredible.
Up there for me too. It was very impressive. I mean, Jay Uso, while Jimmy was out and they started the whole bloodline thing, Jey Uso was going on a singles run, so you actually saw more of him. So he's solid. He's solidified. He's very reliable, I think is the word I'm looking for. And obviously him and Jimmy, I mean, I don't think it's crazy to say that they're probably one of the best tag teams in WWE history, going off accolades and relevancy.
I think I think they're up there, greatest tag team right now. They're up there with FTR and Young Bucks for me.
100%. I think it's like you know what you're getting out of them. You know that they're going to give you a solid match. And then you go on the other side. Street Profits have been doing this for years now. They were in NXT, now the main roster. Montez Ford.
Oh my God. I can't talk enough about him.
We could probably talk about him for the rest of the episode if we wanted to.
Got yoked overnight.
This guy is it's kind of the same with like Ricky Starks.
Yeah,
The guy
that's a great comparison.
Has it. He has the complete package on the mic, in the ring, connecting with the fans. It's like he has it. Like you guys, like you can have a look, you can have this and that, but sometimes you just don't have it. He has it.
Yep.
Whenever they decide to separate them, however they do the storyline, I don't know how they'll do it, but
I'd even be fine with him going for it.
I think they could just easily just be like, hey, we run our course. I think it's time for us to go our separate ways for the time being. Or maybe like if they do another brand split thing.
Or I was even thinking like they could do it like the New Day, how Kofi was very much in the New Day.
Well, so that's why I'm so like maybe like so they're still in the group. Montez like I'm going for the going for singles belt. They could do that, or because I remember when Big E was going on his singles run, how that originated was because he got drafted to Raw or SmackDown, and Xavier and Kofi stayed on whatever brand it was.
Yeah.
So I think they're kind of going away from the brand split at this point. But if they did do another draft, that's an easy way to split up a group. Because I don't want to see either one turn on each other. It's like they're so likable, and it's like
I want to see all right,
keep
dream matches real quick. Montez Ford versus Seth Rollins, bro.
Montez Ford versus anybody. He had a match with Roman a few months ago, which was also a banger. That was a great match. Roman, Seth, Cody. Cody. People forget because he's injured right now. Literally anyone. Anyone. Riddle, Randy Orton, Edge.
They've already done they
did the Riddle RK Bro versus Street Profits.
But I'm saying they got an opportunity to already do the giant frog splash into an RKO with Montez and Orton.
Yeah, so that guy, the future is so bright for that guy. I really hope that when they do decide to do it, they don't fail him because they have something in him. So
speaking of having something, Dolph Ziggler back in the title picture.
Literally the least shocking thing. The guy. Like you talk about, you need someone to put another guy over. Yeah. Dolph Ziggler he's done it a million times, but he's reliable.
Do you know what is he like? Is that the match?
Him versus Theory, I think is gonna be. I think he's just kind of grooming Theory now. I think it's just kind of him like making it because Dolph Ziggler. Listen. I don't think people talk about. If you want to talk about like some of the most underrated wrestlers,
I'm glad we're on the same
history.
Page.
It's Dolph Ziggler. Like he's been in the company for over 50. He's been in the company since 2005, 2006. He's a lifer.
I am one of the biggest Dolph Ziggler cheerleaders.
He deserves so much more than he's got in his career. He should have
been our Shawn Michaels.
He should have been a multi-time world champion. Multi-time world champion.
He's so talented and like genuinely.
I love him. Even now, like I'm still drawn to him. He's so good in the ring. So the reason why they brought him out.
His super kick is great.
His super kick is great. I mean, just his selling is great. He's one of the best sellers in the business, period. Not even just WWE. He's very believable. He's great at putting guys over. We've seen in the past like NXT call-ups, Baron Corbin, Shinsuke. I'm probably missing a few other guys, but usually these call-ups go to first feud's Dolph Ziggler because like he can make them look legit, whether or not like the fans are behind it or not. Just in ring,
that's the whole reason
makes him look good.
They sent Ziggler back to NXT,
right?
To just be like, hey, can you fucking help?
He did. He beat Braun Breaker it didn't pin him. It was a triple threat, but he won the belt. But then he gave it back to Braun Breaker. He put him over again on Raw, which was a big moment for him. Dolph is the best. I love Dolph. I really do. And I respect him because he's a lifer. Yep. He's always been there for WWE. They let him go off because he does stand up and stuff like that. They let him do his thing, which is
watch
great.
Any of that?
No,
I don't know.
No, I don't know if he's good at it. Yeah. But I don't know if he's good at it. But
really
they let him do it,
funny.
which is because they don't do that normally with other guys. So it's like he has the support of like the higher ups and stuff. And I don't think, even though he's not used as well as he should, I think WWE understands that like. We need to keep this guy around. Yeah. Like, you don't want to see him going to AEW or anything like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
So I think eventually they'll have the Dolph Theory feud. I think Theory will go over.
Yeah.
Because, that's obviously they're building him up. And I think that'll be a great feud. I think it will be.
it's a shame that I don't think Dolph is going to get another run.
I mean, listen, it was a shocker when he won the NXT belt alone. I don't think he'll ever win a WWE belt.
I could see. I mean, again, I agree with you that I think he is also a lifer and a company guy, but if he got let go or quit or whatever, I could see him going on like a little like John Morrison-esque indie run.
Oh, yeah,
where he's like wins a world title. I mean, I don't know if he won.
Yeah.
Either way, you know what I mean. Just a big indie run.
He could go to AAA.
Yeah,
He could go to
exactly.
New Japan. I mean, he could put, he could put on bangers with anyone.
Yeah.
Also, don't want to keep bringing up the whole age thing. I'm pretty sure he's in his 40s.
Let's see what we got.
How old is Dolphin Ziggler? I think he's 40 something. He's up there.
41.
41, yeah. So, I mean, he looks great for 41. I'll tell you that much. He can still go. So, yeah, I'm excited to see Dolph Ziggler back on my TV. He's enjoyable. I've always liked Dolph.
All right, let's talk about Fyter Fest Night 1.
Okay.
Which is just AEW Dynamite.
Yeah,
but it's
essentially.
just,
but it's just big name,
Dynamite.
gets more people drawn into it.
Where do we go? You watched AEW last night?
I did.
You watch it?
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm not going to sit here and act like I was fully engaged the entire episode, but I did have it on. I had it on the background. I was paying attention to it every now and then.
We already talked about the tag team. Let's talk about, well, all right, let's mention this. Claudio. So it's just more of an in general thing.
Okay.
We have, again, we've been off the pod for a little bit. Seeing Claudio back.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Love it. I love
Like
I love the long tights.
Yep.
I think he's great. He's super over. He's perfect for the Blackpool Combat Club.
Perfect.
Especially now with Brian's Danielson being out.
Yep.
Love it.
Like a glove. Fits right in.
He had a match with Hager last night. Really solid match.
I saw a lot of people. I saw this one wrestling account that was like, "Oh yeah, we saw that a million times in WWE. Might not see it
outta
again."
here.
Yeah, we saw it in WWE. What 5, 6, 7 years ago? And also, this actually makes sense because they're in two groups that are feuding with each other.
Yeah.
It fits the storyline, and you're revisiting an old feud. What's wrong with that? This isn't Jack Swagger versus Cesaro. This is Claudio versus Jake Hager. It's two very different things here. So I don't know why people are upset about that. It was a good match. I think Jake Hager doesn't get. I don't think he gets as much credit. I think he's a little.
I'm not a fan of him.
The thing is here's the issue. I think this is why you're not a fan of him. Since he's been in AEW, he's only been with Chris Jericho. He's never been able to go off.
Yeah,
and
but
do
I
his
also
own
didn't
thing.
like him as Jack Swagger. I just think he's always been boring to me.
I think and to that, I think that's WWE didn't really do a great job with him. I mean, you have the professional wrestling background.
Yeah.
It's like have him be a professional wrestler. Have him show off his actual wrestling skills because he's a wrestler. And in AEW, he's just kind of Chris Jericho's bodyguard.
Yeah.
I think if you gave him a chance, he could do something. But I think he's like something like this. He's very reliable. Like he can put on a good match, and I think this was a really good match. So.
Is there anything that jumps out? We have the TNT Championship, Wardlow versus Orange Cassidy. We have Jericho's promo. We got Mox and Takashita. I'm going to get it wrong. Evil Luchasaurus again with a Varsity Blondes.
Yep.
I mean, genuinely,
It was an okay
fine
show.
Dynamite.
I mean, the matches were fine.
I will say this. I guess one thing I want to point out. Chris Jericho, still the best promo in the game.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah. Yeah, you still got it.
Yeah.
Still got it.
He's up. I enjoy like an MJF or a CM Punk promo more. You know what I mean? They just kind of seem to hit more, but like Jericho doesn't get enough credit. Jericho's up there with the best of them.
100%,
Like,
yeah.
and I know that's not a hot take. I know it's a very obvious thing that he's great at talking, but even in his veteran status, like his promo like against or towards Eddie Kingston last night, just intense and just like, I can't recall any specifics necessarily, but really intense. I love this feud. I love how Eddie's response has always just been like less talking and just it's just fuck you, I'm gonna come and kick your ass.
Yeah.
And then Chris Jericho does all this like talking and then just like shut the fuck up, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah.
Are you becoming, this is a genuine question, in the past, you said you're not the biggest Eddie Kingston fan.
Sure.
Where do you stand today? Still
Where do I
not
stand
feeling
today?
him? What do you?
I think he's believable as far as being like a badass. Like he's not. If I had to pick someone and be like, all right, I need two guys to put on a banger, I don't think he's going to be one of my first options.
Interesting.
But I do think like as far as like you want to put on like a bloody, like hardcore, like a John Moxley versus Eddie Kingston's gonna burn the house down every single time. I'm more of a fan of his promo work than I am his in-ring work. Okay. I'm not saying I do like Eddie Kingston, and I do like him more than in the past. I said I wasn't that big of a fan. I am. I do think he has sold me more in the ring. Mm-hmm. Like I say, he's believable, this and that, but not as much as other people. But not in a bad way. It's just I don't know. There's just something that doesn't click with me yet. I don't know what it is.
I mean, you could not to say this is probably the reason, but in terms, if you're going to compare him and Jon Moxley, they are very similar characters in terms they just want to, they're great promos. They just want to beat the shit out of people. Mm-hmm. They're bloody. And if you're going to choose who's better at that, it is going to be Moxley.
Right. And I like that. I like the whole story. Like he was like, his upbringing and stuff, his troubled past and stuff. And I really like how they incorporate that with his character because that's what makes him believable. It's like, oh, this guy just wants to beat the shit out of guys and whatever. But I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know. There's just something that I'm missing. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing that other people see. I like him. I think he's great to be on TV every week. It's not like I hate it. It's not like I turn the channel. It's not like that. It's just there are a few guys I'd probably put ahead of him.
I guess
that's it.
Really. I guess more so it was like, I'm an Eddie Kingston guy. Absolutely, I fucking love the guy. But I'll be curious. I guess I don't know. It hasn't been. I guess the match is going to be Jericho versus.
Maybe
Kingston.
He just needs that one win. Maybe that's what it is for me. I don't think he's had that. I don't think he's had that one major win yet.
Yeah,
like he hasn't won a belt, right? He hasn't won anything.
Correct.
So it's like, I don't know. I'm not saying like.
Did he have tag titles with Mox? He might have had tag. I forget.
I don't know. Well, I'm going to say no. Who knows? But they're not just going to. I don't think he's going to win the world title anytime soon, but it's like, I don't know. I think he just needs that one solidified win. Who against? I don't know, but
I don't know.
I love him in like the blood and guts matches and stuff. I love him in that stuff. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that. He needs like that one non-gimmicky match.
Right.
Bang.
Maybe him and John have a match on a Dynamite and shockingly he wins and it's like, oh shit.
That's what I don't think it's going to be. I mean, Chris Jericho is great in the ring, but in terms of
I don't think that's going to do it for him.
No, he's not going to get a banger out of Jericho.
Right.
They're going to have a solid
They'll
match.
have a good match, but it's not going to be something that makes me think, oh, he beat Chris Jericho. Oh, that's changing my opinion of him.
When they eventually do the Kingston versus Mox, that might be the match. That might be the career. I think the word is career-defining match.
Yeah.
To see that career-defining match out of Eddie Kingston.
Even him and like Danielson, because they've had a little bickering
him
too.
And Claudio.
Yeah, I mean, I think Danielson and Moxley are perfect guys to give him that moment, right? But we'll see. I mean, I don't have anything against him. It's just, I don't know. I'm not there with like you or other fans as well.
With that said, again, everything else we don't cover. We got we're mainly going to go over Patreon questions and like other stuff we want to touch upon.
Because we have a few questions.
I think we do. So. But let's get into which we've forgotten in the past. Wrestler of the week, match of the week.
Okay.
Do you have either of yours in mind?
I mean, match of the week. I think it's I know it's recent, but like the triple threat tag team match.
Too.
I mean,
too.
that I loved every second of it. It was a great match. Just everything, like the little thing, like we talked about Ricky Starks doing the pose and the Young Bucks kicking him, just like the little things in the middle of the match like that. Keith Lee jumping over the top rope. There's like the swerve, doing the backflip off him. Keith Lee taking the shoe off him and start nailing people with it. It was a great
And even
match.
just the feel good surprise at the end.
And the
they
shock.
did the confetti and shit.
The shock.
Oh it was funny. They're running out of time. They're like, oh my God, we got new champions.
I noticed that too. I'm like, I was like, are they even going to show them getting the belts? I was like, they're literally going to cut this off right here. That's what I thought too.
Oh my God, they have new champs. Okay, we got to go see you next week. Oh shit.
I thought that was great too. Okay.
The only one that I think would have been up there for me, it would have been, if it was a week or two ago, it would have been Usos versus Street Profits.
Sure.
But hey, this is this week. We're on a new week. No more looking back.
Okay.
Moxley versus Takashita. I don't know how to pronounce his name. That was a fun match. I wasn't totally dialed in. Genuinely,
I'm not sold on
it.
those matches because I know John Moxley's gonna win.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I like how he does title defenses.
They're saying this guy's gonna be the future of AEW.
Really?
This guy, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know anything about him. I guess he's young.
It was a great match. It was a great
phenomenal.
match. Yeah.
I
I just didn't believe. I have a thing with like title matches where like the other person isn't going. That kind of turns me off. Well, it was still a great match, but like you know the result. You know.
Yeah. Like why would they switch the interim AEW title?
John Moxley. Yeah. We all know it's gonna be Moxley versus.
I'm pretty sure he's not signed. This other guy isn't signed to AEW.
Really? Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Unless he is, I'm not really sure.
Is he New Japan? Is there a New Japan?
I think he's. I don't know much about him. I assume he's New Japan. He might be a free agent.
Okay.
But like the rumor is like he's gonna sign or has signed with AEW, and like I guess he's talented.
Yeah.
And I guess the kid's a star. That's also my match of the week.
Wrestler of the week. Do you have one in mind?
I had. If you have one, you go first.
I'm going back for it. So we've done this in the past. This guy didn't wrestle this past week, but whenever he makes an appearance, you got to watch. It's something. It's he always attracts. He gets people to care about what he does. Brock Lesnar shows up on Monday Night Raw, opens the show up, beats the absolute shit out of Chad Gable and Otis.
Yeah.
When he did the F5 to listen, listen guys, Otis is not a small man.
Big boy.
That is a big boy. Brock Lesnar just with ease F5 from through the table. Looks like a badass. And I love Brock. I just love him. Like him and Paul Heyman's great, but him being solo and being able to talk on his own, like he's fun.
Yeah.
He's likable. Like Brock Lesnar is cool. And also his birthday was on Tuesday. Happy birthday,
Brock. Thanks for watching.
Fucking biggest jacked up 45-year-old I'd seen in my fucking life, dude.
Yeah. As much shit as and I think we are giving
the Roman Brock
thing. Like, and we said it in the podcast, so it's not like even we're correcting ourselves. Like, Brock is a draw. I'm a big
He's
Brock
a draw.
guy.
No matter what, you could have. They could
love
have
Brock
their
matches.
35th match,
Yeah.
but it's like Brock Lesnar is a main attraction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
he makes you care.
Exactly.
He
No,
makes you
whenever Brock Lesnar's on TV, you're watching.
And his promo work. Oh, so this is going
his voice
back.
doesn't match his body. It's so funny.
He voice cracks like 3 different times his promo. It's hilarious. But like, I didn't have Raw on right away. I was watching Legend of Korra, shout out Avatar, and I was on my phone. It says Brock Lesnar, like they show like WWE tweeted like Brock Lesnar coming to the ring. Immediately put on Raw.
Yeah,
because I genuinely care about what Brock says, and then Paul Heyman came out. They had a little back and forth thing, which was anything those two do together is great. So yeah, Brock. I was gonna say Roman. That was the other guy I was considering because that promo was fucking great too.
Had a really good promo.
But I'm going with Brock.
I like. Genuinely, there wasn't a standout for me,
and that's also the reason why I went that way because I can't really think of a standout this week. I'm
gonna go Street Profits.
Okay,
just for the sake of, not necessarily because of the match, just because of like they've been the Usos are veterans at this point.
Yeah,
and they've been showing
100%.
up.
I love the Usos, bro. I'm pissed that they did the whole unification thing. I think that's kind of ridiculous, but they're doing the best that they can in the situation. So,
well,
much respect to them.
I think that's going to send us into the after party.
Ooh, the lights are coming. The lights are turning down. The
lights
strobe
are turning down,
coming
and they're saying, "Hey, you got to go over to this other bar because that's the after party."
Yep. You got to go.
That one's open
side.
till 2 a.m.
Oh, big time.
This one closes at midnight.
Yep.
So, if you guys want to hear us continue this conversation, we're going to talk a little more of what we haven't gone over as long as answering your Patreon questions. So, head over to patreon.com/Lumberlend. You can see in the post, there'll be a brand new episode for only $5 a month. Bonus episode every week. We answer your questions.
Come on.
It's way more interactive. It's an after party.
Come on. What are we doing here? That's a cover fee? It's a $5 cover fee for the month. You got to give one down payment.
Free beers inside.
Guys,
what are
we doing? It's like an open bar. You just got to pay the cover and you're good.
And it's way more. It's an intimate setting.
We're fun too. We're fun to be around.
We're fun. Sometimes we talk about dates.
Sometimes
we don't even talk about. Well, we talk about wrestling, but sometimes we get sidetracked.
Girls, ew,
yucky. So, thank you guys for watching. I've been John. You can follow me everywhere at Raspy Taylor. And shameless plug, I got a new song coming out Sunday. Whoa! So check out that Raspy Taylor.
Feels like a banger.
It is called Feels Like a Sunday. Feels like a banger. Hits only. New song out. Please check that out. A shameless plug. For anyone who's still here, you might care. Go ahead.
And you can check me out. I have different ats on different social medias. Just look up Dante Toro all around. Yeah, it's
Mr. 56K on TikTok. We're up
I'm
there,
trying.
huh?
I'm trying. I don't know why people like
I'm
me
still
so
chasing
much.
that 50.
I don't know why people like me so much, but I thank you. I guess.
I know why. I know why, and we know why.
It's the hair, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the hair.
Well, look me up. You can't miss me. A very recognizable face.
Beautiful. Well, with that said, thank you guys for watching. It's good to be back.
Oh, great
Full
to be
steam
back.
ahead. Check out all of our other videos. I don't feel like plugging anymore. Let's wrap it up. Lights are on. See you guys in the after party. See you next week. See you on the channel. Peace.
Peace.